As we continue our discussion on how money works, I wanted to take a look at, some of our favorite places to put our money, right? So, a lot of us, we might have graduated from putting our money in a mattress, you know, in our attic or, under the bed somewhere inside the wall, which is good because, putting your money in FDIC insured bank is to make sure your money is going to be there for you if something happens at your home or to your mattress. Some of us, we go ahead and get rid of those. And not to be funny because I mention that because my grandfather, I think he kept every dime that he ever made. And unfortunately, when he answered God's call, um, he never really, I guess he never really trusted banks or something like that because, you know, when his estate was being inventoried, I should say, they ended up finding a considerable amount of cash in his mattress. And I don't know if it just made the bed more comfortable, but psychologically, I could imagine it made him more comfortable because his money was there. So, nowadays, with how active we are as people, it's a good idea to make sure our money is just as active. And we want to be able to put our money in places that's going to make sure that activity grows our money as much as possible. So starting out with a bank with a savings account is a good idea, but let's take a look at some of the options that are available for these savings accounts, right? So Ally Bank is a great online bank, and their annual percentage yield is about 0.6%, as you see here on the screen. And I took a look at a couple of them. So you got this high yield coming out of Bank of America here, right? Not too bad, 0.66%. And then you got a few others like Wells Fargo that's doing 0.60s, and Citibank. I think Citibank is the best I've seen so far. Actually, I'm pretty fond of Citibank because a lot of the investments that they put into black banks for the black communities, and they're sitting at 0.7%. And then you have another one like Citizens Access, and the best that you're looking at is 0.5%. Now, again, it's a good idea to put your money into an account that is going to help you, gain some interest, which is great. And the good thing about a savings account is that should there be a rainy day or anything like that, the money is still basically liquid. So you'll be able to get that money during any kind of an emergency situation. But, as we discussed on how money works, you want to be able to have at least 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund. And if that 3 to 6 months is in your savings account and something were to happen, you do want to be able to have, faster access to that money. But if you're looking at long-term savings, I'm wondering if the annual percentage yield that you get in the savings account will give you exactly what you need. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to actually, take a look at some things here um, that might be able to help us answer that question. So, a lot of us, we want to save, but we just don't know where we're going to get the money from, right? So you can have, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there every month that you want to save. And on average, we're looking at about a couple of $100. Even if you're, a young person just starting out, you just got yourself another job, you're looking at, you could possibly, eke out a couple of $100 a month to save. And the reason why saving is so important is because, when you're too old or something happens, you get sick, you want to make sure you have that money, right? That's going to be able to take care of you. So if you look at it, $200 a month, maybe if you're a young person, young lady, young man, and you want to save, on average about 35 years, right? So the best annual percentage rate that we saw was 0.7, right? So let's go ahead and put 0.7 there, right? And unfortunately, a lot of our young people, when we start off our savings, we don't really, at least in the black community, it's not often that we actually have money handed down. So I'm gonna start off at zero there. No increase in monthly payments every month, and a combined tax rate, it's just on average somewhere around 36%, where you're paying about 28% federal and your state and locals an additional 8%. So you're looking at about 36% there. So let's go ahead and put 36% there. My bad. Right? So we won't even discuss inflation right now. So I just want to take a look at the money, right? So if I calculate that at what the bank is looking at. No, you know what? I'm gonna play a nice little game with you here. Let's look at my grandfather's mattress. How much money my grandfather made with his savings. Say if he was doing $200 for 35 years, right? And calculate that. That's 84 grand, right? And of course, that's going to be about the same thing everywhere you look at it, right? But if that money is in his mattress, he doesn't have to worry about the taxes, obviously, right? 84,000 bucks. But let's just say that same amount of money is being put into City because they had the best one that we saw, right? Go ahead and put that 0.70 there, 36%, right? Calculate that. You're looking at about $90,000 over the course, $91,000 over the course of 35 years, right? Not too bad. You know, can you live off of it? Mm, not really sure about that. Not at zero point 0.7. So let's take a look at the pre-tax, right? 60,000 bucks, right? So what does this mean? So if your money is taxed every month, right? There you go. That's the money that's going to be taxed every month, $90,000. Pre-tax is it's like your retirement fund, your 401k, 403b, your TSPs, right? So at pre-tax, you're looking at $61,000, right? $200 a month, 0.7%. And then after taxes, you're looking at $95,000. Your after tax is like your Roth IRA or any retirement program where the money has already been taxed. You know, you already been paid. You take money out of your paycheck and you put that money into some kind of a retirement fund, something other than your mattress, right? So in this case, you'll be doing better doing that by taking your money out and actually putting into a retirement fund. But you know, if you're looking at $95,000 doing a whole lot for you. You know, I know it won't do a whole lot for me. So for me, looking at things long term, like 35 years long term, I'm wondering again if the savings account is what's best for a lot of people to take a look at this because there are other options out there that yield more money. You know, reason why so many people who are really good in money continue to make that money is because they put their money in products that's going to help them get the money that they need. And one of the products that I've learned has been, you know, quite incredible, I should add, has been the Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. And you know, you do know that there's, you know, permanent policies and temporary policies. Your temporary policies are your terms that usually expire anywhere from 10 to 30 years, right? There's no cash accumulation. So once that policy expires, the money is gone, or you can convert that money into a permanent policy and then use that to be able to help fund your retirement if you're near retirement age, which is great. And with the Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, you know, you're putting money that's paying for the cost of insurance, but also the savings component is yielding considerably more or a considerably higher annual rate than your average savings account. In fact, you know, one of the accounts that I have my money in right now is doing about 7.3% on average every year, right? So saving $200 every month, 35 years at a 7.3% annual percentage rate, combined tax rate of 36%. Let's take a look at that. So, hey, that same $200, right? The same 200 bucks, but instead of it being 0.7%, that's going to get you something like 90 grand, you're looking at $200,000, right? That's considerably more. And then if you look at that, if it's pre-tax money, right? Take that money out, $249,000, right? And say you just took the money out after you've already been paid, now you're looking at a cool $389,000. So you can see that putting your money into a better financial product is going to get you a much higher yield, right? But still, is $389,000 going to give you the lifestyle that you need when you're ready to retire? Again, I'm not sure about you, but I know me, I'm going to need a little bit more money. So as we get older and we're starting to do better financially, it means that we should probably put back a little bit more money so we'll be able to have more money to be able to take advantage of. And of course, the more money that you put into your account earlier on, you start to take advantage of that compounding interest at 7.3% earlier on, which is going to give you a higher rate of return, you know, over the course of that 35 years. So let's take a look at, you know, if you can handle it, $500, right? We calculate that. So that $500 taxed as you earn is about $500,000, right? Now we're looking pretty good. Why? Because $500,000, if you put $500,000 into any kind of a bank that's going to earn any kind of interest, it's gonna take care of you, right? How long, I don't know, but because I don't know your lifestyle, you might be, living a life fantastic or something like that, or you might be very frugal like my grandfather was, and he answered God's call with all his money. So, and that was in a mattress, right? Funny. So felt so funny. So you're looking at 536,000. It's already been taxed, as the months go by. Or if you get it pre-tax, you're looking at $623,000, which is a lot better, right? That's your, again, that's your, retirement funds. If it's company match, it's even better. And then after taxes, that's the money that's coming out of your paycheck. You're looking at almost $1 million, $1 million. So in the same situation, it's the same $200, but with Citibank, your after tax is looking at 238. But if you put your money into the right financial product, in this case, an IUL, you're potentially looking at $1 million. Can you live off of that? And understand that $973,000, that's supplemental income. You can annuitize that, put that in some kind of a fund that if it's in an annuity, that $973,000 in that annuity is still earning additional money. And you can actually have that set up to where you'll be paid for the rest of your life, right? And then here's the cool thing about it. Say that something happens, right? Lord forbid, but come on now, we're all going to answer God's call. We all are, right? Say you got your $973,000, right? And of that $973,000, you lived long enough to use 500,000, right? Let's say you have 500,000 left. So let's go ahead and reset this, right? So you have $500,000 left, and you leave that $500,000 to one of your children, right? Let's go ahead and put that starting amount at $500,000. Because they watched you save, they're going to save. And keep in mind, they're starting out young, right? $200, right? Same 35 years, right? Same 35 years. And because they watched you, they're going to put their money in the same account that you put your money in. It's going to be the same tax rate, 33%, right? So now, because you didn't use all the money, you left your kids $500,000. You taught them how to save, so they're saving $200 for 35 years at 7.3%. What does that look like? If it's taxed along the way, keep in mind that $500,000 is not taxed. Calculate. $2 million, $2.8 million. I want you to let that marinate for a second. $2.8 million because you left them some money. That's how the rich continue to get rich. That's how their families continue to grow, because they use life insurance policies to help them create generational wealth. So let's take a look at the pre-tax. The pre-tax is $4.3 million. $500,000 you put in, saving $200 a month. Now you have $4.3 million for your kids. And I want to show you that after tax, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. So after tax, $6.7 million. This is what you'll be able to leave, the potential income that you'll be able to leave your children if you get this right. It starts with you. Unfortunately, like I said, because so many of us don't plan early, we might only be starting out here, right? We might only be starting out here, but look where you can end up, right? Look where you can end up. Your family can end up. That's a big deal. So I wanted to be able to share this with you so you can see the power of compounding interest and how your money can grow for you significantly. Even if you're just, putting away $500, right? $500 a month. It's like, Tony, well, $500 is a lot of money. No, it's not. It's really not, really. And I say that because, right now during this pandemic, right? How much money have you really been saving now? You're not going to Starbucks every day. You're not doing a lot of the going out and hanging out, going to pubs or whatever. And you don't really realize how much money you're spending because it's just bleeding your money away a little bit at a time every day. So after that 30 days goes by, you've already chewed up $500. Now you got an extra $500. You don't know where it come from, right? That extra $500, you put that extra $500 in the right product, and let's just say say you're my age, I'm 49, right? I'll be retiring in 16 years? So let's just go ahead and put 16 years there at $500 a month. But I'm pretty established by now. So, I can be able to put away $500 for 16 years. $500 for 16 years at 36% tax rate. You calculate that, that's still 143 grand, right? And that's at a 7.3% interest rate. Pre-tax, 116,000. After tax, $182,000, right? And that's for 16 years. But you see how important it is to get started early, right? Had I been able to put that $500 in there, younger, and I can get more of a runway or an advantage or an early start, right? That same $500 is going to get me, like we showed earlier, 500,000, 600,000, million. So we want to definitely start looking at, saving as much money as we can, as early as we can. That's why we want to teach our children this so they don't struggle later like we struggle today. And with that, if you have any questions, give me a call. We'll be talking about this over and over and over again. Trust and believe me. So once again, if you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.